Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday night and welcome to the Doc Watkins Show. I'm joined by Brandon Guerra on the drums, Mike Porter on the bass tonight. We've got a great show ahead. My special guest is JazzTexas' own Maitre D, the wonderful Miss Selena Lopez. We're going to get to the music in just a minute, but first let's have a look at the JazzTexas news. A federal appeals court blocked a couple from being married with 175 people expected to attend the wedding, ruling it exceeded the 50-person maximum. The bride said being deprived of a big wedding is a devastating tragedy from which she'll never recover. The groom called it a godsend. In sports, the Washington Nationals have fired a team employee who was seen on video throwing 2 cups of hot coffee into the face of a woman working at a convenience store. Based on his throwing abilities, the employee was immediately signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates as their new closer. The employee said he threw the 2 cups because he was trying to help her make a double espresso. Former reality star Kelly Osbourne recently admitted on her podcast that she lost weight by having gastric sleeve surgery. Her father, Ozzy Osbourne, admitted he's stayed thin over the years by doing massive amounts of drugs. According to USA Today, the 2020 high school football season is nearly upon us, and Texans have 4 teams in the top 25, including Duncanville, Galena North Shore, Austin Westlake, and Katy. Not making the list this year, San Antonio School for the Performing Arts. And finally, the former Navy SEAL who claims he killed Osama bin Laden in 2011 was banned from Delta Airlines for refusing to wear a mask when he boarded. Meanwhile, Al-Qaeda announced that they still will require all terrorists who board American flights to practice social distancing and use hand sanitizer. That's it for the JazzTexas News. All right, welcome to the program, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I want to start out by offering you all a toast. We just celebrated our 4th anniversary on Sunday night, had a wonderful time. Thank you for those that joined us that evening. Here's to 4 more years of JazzTexas and to good music, food, cocktails, and friends. Cheers, everybody. Also want to remind you that we do have curbside and delivery available with both our kitchen and the bar, so check it out, jazztexas.com. We're going to start out with some music now. This is one of my favorite tunes from the Jazz Standard Songbook entitled There Will Never Be Another You. That's Mike Porter on the bass, Brandon Guerra on the drums. There will never be another you. I want to give a big shout out to Chris Zients with Wizard Broadcasting. He's our video production guy, doing a great job back there behind the scenes, coming on 30 episodes of the Doc Watkins Show. So thank you so much for Chris for everything you're doing. Also, Caitlin Hill, our audio engineer and bartender extraordinaire. She is wearing 2 hats and doing double duty here at JazzTexas. Thank you, Caitlin. I also want to thank our media sponsor, KRTU 91.7. Guys, thank you so much for partnering with us and for getting this music out and for helping us out during these times. We've got lots more stuff coming up with KRTU, so check them out, 91.7, some of the greatest jazz on the planet. Thanks, guys. This next tune is, this is a tune we'd like to do as a bossa nova. This is a song that we've done for many years called I Wish You Love, and we'd like to try it for you now as a bossa in the style of Antonio Carlos Jobim. We hope you enjoy it. Here goes. Thank you very much, everybody. That's an old tune called I Wish You Love. My special guest tonight has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, helping to ensure the JazzTexas machine runs smoothly. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome our very own Maitre D, Miss Selena Lopez. Hey, Selena.
Hey, Doc.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, what was the most challenging thing about being the JazzTexas hostess on a Saturday night during the holiday season?
Oh, man. Probably having to tell people we were at full capacity because we would sell out almost every night. So probably that, having to see that reaction. But ultimately, I mean, there was no downside to our holiday season. It was always magical.
It was, but you know, we, as the musicians, we got to be up here on stage entertaining everybody and playing music, and you were literally on the front lines of JazzTexas back then, you know, trying to hold the door and everything, and you always did it with a smile. Thank you. But was it hard?
I mean, I'm not really. I mean, honestly, I loved seeing everybody come in. I loved seeing all the guests, and just the season itself was just so magical in general, but I miss it. There is no downside. I can't say anything negative because I miss it so much right now. I don't want to talk any kind of negativity about it because I miss it dearly.
Well, then I'll share a story if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
It was like the week before we closed, and we had a special concert. It was on a weeknight. The place was full. It was sold out, and we had a couple dudes at the bar who just were being knuckleheads. It happens. And Selena was up at the front, and we said, all right, we need to get these guys out of here because they're disturbing our guests, and they're not going to come back in. And so we got them out, and Selena, you went to the back to take care of something, and I stayed up at the front. And one of the guys came back in and tried to kind of force his way back in, as sometimes happens, and I had to deal with the guy, and it was not easy because I'm used to playing up here on the stage and everything. And so anyways, so I got him out, and I went back. I was like, Selena, I think I almost just got in a fight, and I told you what happened, and you were like, oh, that happens to me every night. That's no big deal. I think I'm
used to it at this point, so I can't even yeah, I mean, that's a normal Friday night for me.
Did you come in, I mean this seriously, did you come in to this job with thick skin, or did you grow thick skin as a result of this job? Because it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it was for a while. I mean, I definitely had to grow the thick skin. I remember somebody telling me that I was a tough cookie, but I have to be up there. I mean, at that point, I was the bouncer of JazzTexas. I mean, in a cocktail dress, essentially. So, I mean, yeah. So, it was definitely a little challenge, but we definitely grew into it.
And you came to work with us about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and it's been wonderful. And now here we are in this new version of JazzTexas, and you're helping coordinate everything from deliveries to to cocktail kits going out and personal notes and merchandise and everything. Tell everybody about what's going on, how they can order. What are we doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're doing curbside and delivery, of course, and we're doing our live streams. We're actually setting up outside. Up at the top so that we can kind of catch everybody that's walking by. So if you're coming by the Pearl, you hear the music and the lights, just follow that, and then you'll see us parked in the front. We'll have craft cocktails ready to go, or you can even do made to order. So you can kind of, if you have a preference, our bartenders are more than happy to accommodate. And then, yeah, we're also bringing back our brisket tacos, our famous brisket tacos that everybody's been raving about and hoping that they do come back. So yeah, we'll definitely have them. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely really fun. We're having our live stream actually on a little iPad up there, so everybody can kind of see exactly what's happening downstairs as well. So it's definitely a lot of fun up there.
And I'm gonna brag on you and the girls one more time, because you mentioned the brisket tacos. And originally, we thought we can't really do brisket tacos because by the time we get them to the people's door, they're going to be soggy and everything, and it doesn't work. So we took them off the menu. And all of a sudden we realized, that restaurants that have a patio or even like a ground level space have an advantage, because people can walk by and see there's something going on. They can sit out in the patio, and down in the basement at JazzTexas, I mean, we have zero visibility. And so we're doing everything online. And all of a sudden, just the other night, you and the girls decided, hey, let's just go up and sell food and sell drinks and tell people to watch the live. And y'all just went for it in the most old school kind of fashion that is sort of a lost art, and y'all just knocked it out of the park. And we had brisket tacos going around and everything. And so thank you. Y'all are doing, the whole team is doing an amazing job.
Well, thank you. I mean, honestly, this place is a blessing to work for, so we're excited to be up there.
And I also want to ask you, who's your favorite band here at Jazz Texas?
The Doc Watkins
No,
Trio.
no. Not the other than the Doc Watkins,
Oh man,
whatever.
I miss Emily Gimble. I absolutely love. I listen to her on the daily at home. I loved our Wednesday nights with Emily Gimble happy hour, and we had her last week, thankfully, of course. But yeah, I definitely love Emily.
Yeah, Emily is absolutely terrific. And you've been also working with Alicia, who many of you remember Alicia, who is still here and was working with you behind the hostess stand, and y'all were like an amazing, amazing team together. Lastly, just take us through, because if you came down to Jazz Texas, and hear me out here, if you bought a ticket and you got dressed up, and we knew that coming out on a Saturday night was a really big deal, and you didn't just go on a whim, let's go down to Jazz Texas, but you probably thought about, what am I going to wear? The night before, you laid it out, you ironed it and everything. You went to work the next day, you're thinking, I'm going to Jazz Texas tonight, and you got off work, came home, pull in the driveway, you're thinking about, we got to be there because there's parking, and the show starts at 8:30, and the first thing that you see is Selena at the front door. And maybe the parking was hard to find, maybe something didn't go right or whatever, but I mean, you guys were so important to us being at the front door to greet everybody. Walk me through a typical night, and I only say holidays because that was the craziest time, but like a typical Saturday night, what that was like for you from the time you got to work until things just got insane.
Yeah, I mean, when we come in, we look at the floor plan, looking at how many reservations we had for the evening. We had to kind of play Tetris with the floor plan, kind of fitting in all the big parties we had and all these special birthdays, getting that information to you so we can get our shout outs, going through emails, and then kind of creating that experience when everybody came in. So, and we always had that occasional wanderer that would mistake our elevator sign for a bathroom, and then they come down and see us, and they're like, what's this? And
but nobody ever actually went in the bathroom.
No,
and
yeah.
or went in the elevator, went to the bathroom in the elevator.
No,
they
yeah,
thought they
clarify.
were going to the bathroom in
Yeah.
the literal sense, not in the...
If you've seen our elevator, you would understand. But yeah, definitely. And we would be like, yes, well, welcome. And it's always a one, like kind of seeing that glimmer in their eye. We're like, what is this place? And so that was always really fun. And then kind of capturing that when we open the curtains, and it's just an amazing experience. Like, walk them to their table, sit them down, and then you can request the front row, you can request events and parties. But yeah, I miss all of that so much.
And finally, back to the drunk at the bar that I had to deal with, and you were like, oh, that's no big deal. We made an instructional video a number of months ago with the staff on how to handle the ordinary, everyday household drunk. And the only solution I came up with was to whack him in the head with an empty beer bottle, but the staff had much other suggestions. How did you deal with that guy who was, a foot taller than you and like already kind of getting loopy at 8 o'clock in the evening and wasn't going to take no for an answer? Because most of the time I never even heard about it because y'all dealt with that so well. That is one of the hardest parts of any kind of job working in a bar. And if you've worked in a job like that, you know, and if you haven't, you don't know, just like I experienced that night myself. How did you do it?
You got to kill them with kindness at that point. You know what I mean? If you're as sweet as possible, and they have no choice but to be nice back at that point. So, I mean, I would hope so. They'd be nice back. I mean, we'll cross our fingers. But I mean, I think for that personally, and you had talked to him too. There was a kind of a mutual understanding when you give them respect back. They're just essentially just looking for that conversation or to be heard, essentially. So you kind of give them that respect and kill them with kindness.
So when I told the guy that one night that I'm going to hit you in the head with an empty beer bottle, that might have actually escalated the situation. In other words, I'm just making a note of that there. Caitlin, would you make a note of that over there too and remind me afterwards? Selena, you and all the girls and all the staff here are such a treasure to us. Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for everything you're doing during these insane times. Y'all are crushing it. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you for having us, and thank you for everything you do.
Thanks for being on the show, Selena.
My pleasure.
That's Selena Lopez, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to all of the Jazz Texas staff. If you're just joining us, welcome to the program. Remember, we have cocktails and wine and food to go, delivery, curbside, out in the food hall, or out in the park and everything. And you can't. We're taking over this town, everybody. You're not going to be able to go outside without seeing Jazz Texas food everywhere. So make sure and order online, or just give us a call, or go see the girls upstairs in front of the bottling department. Back to the music. We're going to slow things down and do a beautiful ballad This is from a long time ago, written almost 100 years ago, a tune called Body and Soul. That's Body and Soul, a great old classic with a wonderful bass solo by Mike Porter. Thank you, everybody. All right, this next tune comes from special requests. This is a tune we've been playing for a very long time. It's a Christmas song, but it's great for all times of year. It's called Linus and Lucy, one of my favorites. Here we go. Brandon Guerra on the drums, Mike Porter on the bass. That's Linus and Lucy by Vince Guaraldi. Thank you, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we know everybody's been spending a lot more time indoors during the year 2020. It's hot outside. There's nowhere to go. You're stuck inside trying to find fun things to do, like playing board games, watching kitty and puppy videos, and other interesting activities to help get you through this time. We've created our own board game, which you can play along with right there from your comfort of your own living room. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's have the board game. Well, by now, you probably know how the board game works. We pick two celebrities, both of whom are boring, compare and contrast them, and then at the end, I get to decide who's the biggest bore. So, tonight on the board game, who's more boring, Mark Twain or Shania Twain? Well, on the one hand, Shania Twain is a Canadian singer and songwriter who's been called the Queen of Country Pop, which is for people who can't get enough of the watered-down Nashville sound that's neither country nor pop. She adopted the name Shania, which is a Native American word meaning less talented than Carrie Underwood. In 2003, Shania Twain performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, which millions of viewers felt was far less entertaining than watching Janet Jackson's nipple fall out. In 2011, Shania Twain was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Apparently, Corey Hart wasn't available. Shania Twain says that her dream duet partners include Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, Bonnie Raitt, Etta James, and Karen Carpenter. Even though Etta James and Karen Carpenter are both dead, Shania actually has a better chance of singing with them. On the other hand, Mark Twain was a writer and humorist. His real name was Samuel Clemens, as opposed to Clarence Clemens, Bruce Springsteen's sax player, whose real name was Samuel Twain. Mark Twain has been called the greatest humorist the U.S. has ever produced, but that's by people who've never read a book by Pauly Shore. Mark Twain wrote a total of 28 books, many of them considered classics. Unlike Shania Twain's songs, I've never read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and thought, man, I feel like a woman. Mark Twain has been hailed as the father of American literature, while Shania Twain has been dubbed the mother of all singers who end as guest judges on NBC's The Voice. That's a tough call, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, but if you had to pick who bores you the most, Shania Twain or Mark Twain, the correct answer is Shania Twain. And thanks for playing the board game. All right, folks, we're going to get back to the music here. This next tune is entitled Autumn Leaves. Brandon Guerra on the drum solo. That's Autumn Leaves. Thank you very much, everyone. We've got time for just one more tune for y'all before we decide to say goodnight for the evening. We want to wish you a happy Tuesday and also invite you back this Friday and Saturday at 8 o'clock Texas time. We've got some special guests ahead on Friday night. We're going to be welcoming back, by special request, by popular demand, the legendary Rafael Maras, wonderful opera singer, and we've got a little surprise in store for you on that one. And then also, Saturday night is Devin Jones, one of my favorite guitarists and singers. Been coming down here since day one. He's up in Austin with a terrific blues and jazz band. Make sure and catch both those cats this Friday and Saturday. And finally, many of you have asked how we can support Jazz Texas during these times, so we have lots of options for you. We've got food in the kitchen, drinks behind the bar, delivery and curbside. We've got merchandise available through social media and through our website, JazzTexas.com. We also have a virtual tip jar that you can just leave a tip or make a donation or whatever, and anything y'all can do to help us keep going and keep the music alive, we really appreciate it. So thank you for tuning in tonight. We're going to close out with one final tune by Horace Silver entitled The Preacher. That's Mike Porter on the bass, Brandon Guerra on the drums, Selena Lopez on the microphone, Caitlin Hill on the audio production, and on the camera, you know him, Chris Zients. With Wizard Broadcasting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure and join us again on Friday night. We'll be right back, same time, same channel, 8 o'clock. We'll see you then. Good night.